I'm going to start new chapter, Lifelines of the National Economy in Geography. Okay, lifelines of the national economy. We use different materials and services in our daily lives. Some of these are available in our immediate surroundings, while other requirements are met by the bringing things from other places. Goods and services don't move from supply locals to demand locals on their own. The movement of these goods and services from their supply locations to demand locations necessitates the need for transport. Some people are engaging in facilitating these movements are known as to be traders who make the products come to the consumers by transportation. Thus, the pace of development of a country depend upon the production of goods and services as well as their movements uh, over space. Therefore, efficient means of transports are a prerequisite for the fast development. The movement of these goods and services can be over the three important domains of our earth: land, water, and air. Based on these, transport can also be classified into the land, water, and air transport expanded far and wide today. The world has been converted into a large village with the help of the efficient and fast moving transport. Transport has been able to achieve this with the help of equally developed communication system. Therefore, transport, communication, and trade are contemporary to each other. Today, India is well linked with the rest of the world despite its vast size, diversity, linguistic, and socio-culturally plurality. Railway, airlines, waterways, newspaper, radio, television, cinema, and internet, etc., have been contributing to its socio-economic progress in many ways. The trades from the local to international levels have added to the vitality of its economy. It has enriched our life and added substantially to growing amenities and facilitates for our comforts of life. In this chapter, you will see how modern means of transport communication serve as the lifelines of our nation and its modern for a long economy. For a long time, trade and transport were restricted, limited space with the development of science technology. The area of the influence trade and transport. It is thus evident that the dense and efficient network of the transport and communication a prerequisite for the local, national, and global trade of economy today. Okay, now see this here means of transport: land, water, and air. Land-wise, roadways, railways, and pipelines, and water means of transport like water, inland or overseas. Air, domestic airways, international airways, domestic public undertaking, or as a private airlines. Transport roadways we'll discuss here. India has one of the largest road network in the world, aggregating to about 56 lakh kilometers in India. Roadways have proceeded railways. They still have an edge over the railway in a view of each easy, which they can build and maintain. The growing importance of road transport, rail transport is rooted in the following reasons. Construction cost of the roads is much lower than that of the railway lines. Road can traverse comparatively more dissected and undulating topography. Roads can negotiate higher gradients of slopes and as such can traverse mountains traverse mountains such as Himalayas. Road transport is economical in transportation of the few persons and relatively a smaller amount of goods over short distances. It also provides door-to-door services, thus the cost of the loading and unloading is much lower. Road transport is also used as a feeder to other modes of transport, such as they provide a link between the railway stations, air and seaport. In India, roads are classified in the following six classes according to their capacity. Look at the map of the national highway and find out about the significant role played by these roads, like Golden Quadrilateral Superhighway. The government has launched a major road development project linking Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai, Mumbai, and Delhi by 6-lane superhighway. The north-south corridor linking Srinagar, Jammu and Kashmir, Kanyakumari, Tamil Nadu, and east-west corridor connecting Silchar, Assam and Porbandar, Gujarat are part of this project. The major objective of this superhighway is to reduce the time and distance between the mega cities of India. These highway projects are being implemented by the National Highway Authority of India (NHAI). National Highway. National Highway link extreme part of the country. These are the primary road systems and are led and maintained by the Central Public Work Department (CPWD). A major national highway run in the north and southeast west directions. The historical Sirsa Suri Marg is called the National Highway number 1 between Delhi and Amritsar. Next, state highway road linking a state capital with the different district headquarters are known as a state highway. These roads are constructed and maintained by the State Public Work Department (PWD), the state and the union territories, the district roads. These roads connect the district headquarters with other places of the district. These roads are maintained by the Jila Parishad. And other roads, rural roads, which link rural areas and villages with the towns, are classified under the category. These roads received a special impetus under the Pradhan Mantri Gramin Sadak Yojana. Under this scheme, the special provisions are made so that every village in the country is linked to major town in the country by an all-season motorable road. And border roads, apart from all these, border roads organization, a government of India undertaking construct and maintain roads in the bordering areas of the country. This organization was established in 1964. The development of the roads of strategic importance in the northern and northeastern border areas. These roads have improved accessibility in areas of difficult terrain and have helped the economic development of this area. Roads can also be classified on the basis of the type of the material used for their construction, such as metalled and unmetalled roads. Metalled roads may be made of cement, concrete, and even bitumen of coal. Therefore, these all with roads, unmetalled roads, go out of use in a rainy season. Okay. The Indian Railway is now reorganized in 16 zones. The distribution pattern of the railway network in the country has been largely influenced by the physiographic, economic, and administrative factors. The northern plains, with this vast level land, high population, uh, high population density, and rich agricultural resources, provided the most favorable condition for the growth. However, a large number of rivers requiring construction of bridges across their beds posed some obstacle in the hilly terrains of the peninsular region. Railway tracks and led through the low hills, gaps, and tunnels. The Himalayan mountains region too are unfavorable for the construction of the railway lines due to the high relief. Sparse population and lack of economic opportunities. Likewise, it was difficult to lay railway lines on the sandy plains and western Rajasthan, swamps of the Gujarat, horse tracks, and Madhya Pradesh. Next time we will discuss this India's railway tracks and the Indian Railway network runs on the multiple gauge operations extending over this 68,442 kilometer and its sources we'll discuss further.